And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. My name is Pat the P in JMPR Gaming, and I am here with
Matt.
And we are here for MPC on MCP. Oh God,
It doesn't get any. It doesn't get any easier. We're keeping it.
Oh my Lord!
We're keeping it. It's a one take. It's a one take show.
Yeah, I'm fine with it anyway. And this is episode 6, and today is very exciting because we had a great weekend.
Oh my God! Such a good
AMGs Mini-Stravaganza, and they sort of gave us a load of information about what's coming for both the Star Wars side of things and the Marvel side of things. So if you're interested in the whole Legion and stuff like that, there was a load of stuff spoiled for you.
Pretty cool stuff as well.
Us, if you're a fan of the Spider-Man universe in any way, we had the best weekend. Yes.
This guy.
I'm looking at you. I will be getting all of these. Just putting it out there.
I mean, stunning.
There's no doubt.
Stunning.
Absolutely incredible.
Do you know? But
aside from that, anything exciting happen in your life, Matt, with regards to Marvel Crisis Protocol?
I've started painting the Inhumans.
Awesome.
Finished Lockjaw.
Oh, it's a cute boy.
I thought so. I have done a bit of work on Black Bolt and on Medusa.
So nice. And you gave me a nice little tip, which was good. To not glue the body into the hair
together. I'm one of those people that always does it, but then I regret it afterwards.
Yeah.
But I will never stop doing this. But then I can tell other people not to.
And I appreciate that. Because I would definitely be angry or annoyed at myself that I couldn't get to the hair behind her body or paint her bum properly.
Yeah, absolutely. It's it's not worth the hassle. Not gonna lie. Sorry, I'm just gonna do some stuff.
No, I'm pretty much in the same boat as you. I managed to pick up the Inhumans this weekend from a local store. Did a little drive-by pickup, which was cool, and I got them glued together. And they have just finished drying from the base coat. I'm going to start on Medusa, I think, tomorrow, just because I think that's the one that looks the most fun to paint. Lots of texture on the hair. And pretty cool body sculpt as well. I mean, I think. Oh, nice.
Oh yeah, that's what I should have done. Is not glued that body there.
Just like that, guys. All right, if you saw that, that's what you need to do. I think I'm going to avoid crystal for a while, only because I am awfully scared of painting the water and the fire. I have no idea how I'm going to do that. But I think we're both in the same boat. Unfortunately, in the UK, we had to wait a little while to get the Inhumans. Hopefully, this Spider-Man wave does not get delayed and we get it in the summer. Because
I'm hoping we'll get it like next week, but
I mean that's not happening without a time machine.
I know.
But I think we should get cracking because we're trying to get this one done.
I mean, in a oh my God, we're way too excited way.
Yeah. So, who have we got first, Matt?
So, as you've mentioned, we've had a ton of reveals over the weekend. The main reveal was the next batch of Spider-Man-related characters.
Yeah.
Good, bad, ugly. Sorry, Black Cat. I'm
glad we agree. I'm just going to put it out there. I'm glad we agree. There's just a problem with the pose, okay? If you guys have seen it,
I don't think we've got pitched that up either. So
this bend backwards, like it's a Matrix-style dodge, and obviously that's what they were going for.
Yeah.
But boy, it really doesn't come off well. But this model.
But this one right here is a beaut. We have. Do you know what? I'm going to let you talk about this one because I'm going to.
Yeah. I know you want to really talk
about the
bad
guys.
Yeah. So we have the Amazing Spider-Man, not Spider-Man, and that is important. This is Amazing Spider-Man, Peter Parker. So we all sort of complained. Well, I think a lot of people complain about the one that comes in the starter set, but AMG have always been, the game designers have always been very sure of themselves in saying that is an early Spider-Man. You know, that's a Peter Parker learning the ropes. What we have here is the Amazing Spider-Man. You know, he's an adult now. He's had his powers for more than a couple of years now. He is well in tune with his spider abilities, and boy, does that come off on this card. So to make things a little bit easier for me, there are no changes from the front to the back. So I'm just going to read it, and then you double it up in your head. All right. So the stat line looks like this. He's a 5-threat, size 2, long mover, which is, remember that, he's a long mover, and he has 6 stamina. Now, the defenses are also pretty good, with 4 physical, 4 energy, and 3 mystic. So just off the top there, Matt, what stands out to you? You happy with that for a 5-threat?
So I'm thinking 5-threat. His defenses are good.
Yeah.
Usually 5 threats are like 4-4-4 normally.
Yeah, I think we've seen.
I think we've seen 4-4-3-4 as well. But a long mover.
Great. A long mover, and
6 stamina is. It's okay. It's a little bit less than a 5-threat normally. Yeah, you normally see 5 threats at 14 health total.
Yeah, agreed.
But so 12 health, not the best, but he's very mobile. Very mobile. But he's
very mobile because apparently he is on a 50mm base, or is that
he is on the medium size one?
The 35mm base. Okay.
Yes.
So that is still super maneuverable. And we will get on to even more maneuverability when we have a little look down the card. So he has 2 attacks, both physical. The first one's Spider Strike, range 3, 5 dice, 0 power. This is his builder, so he gains power equal to the damage dealt. However, he does have, considering this is his builder, a pretty nice, what do we call those?
Trigger.
Yeah, trigger. Thank you. Words. This one it's not the easiest to get off, especially considering he's only 5 dice, because it does require a crit and.
Oh, is that a crit? Oh, yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's a crit and a wild, so it's not the most reliable things. You know,
for some reason, I thought it was a hit and a wild, but yeah, you're right.
If only. Yeah. This one's called Momentum. You choose another enemy character within 2 of the target character you are going for. Place this character within 1 of the chosen character. The chosen character suffers a collision as if this character were thrown into them. So what we're looking at there is a pretty wordy way of saying basically the momentum, if you can imagine, it's a very cinematic attack really. The momentum of the first attack carries through, and Peter basically collides with another character that's nearby.
It's like when you're in the video games and you like flip over one character and kick another.
Yeah. But what's cool is because the chosen character suffers collision as if the character were thrown into them, Peter doesn't take the damage for being thrown.
Exactly.
Which is good. We then have Whatever a Spider Can. This is his spender, and it is a spender.
It is a hefty
it's range 2. But it is 8 dice, but it does cost 5 power. After this attack is resolved, this character may advance medium. So again, a may, that gives you a nice bit of control. And a slightly easier trigger here on just a wild, which when you've got 8 dice, it's quite reliable. It's called Catch. And after this attack is resolved, you may choose an interactive terrain feature of size 2 or less and within 3 of this character and destroy it. The target character suffers a collision as if the terrain were thrown into them. So basically what happens is if there's a piece of terrain near Spidey, he basically flings it into whatever he's just hit with 8 dice. I mean, it's only size 2 or less, so we're looking at, 3 damage maximum from a collision here. But that is just 3, if it is size 2, that's just 3 guaranteed damage on top of whatever you have already got off your 8 dice, maybe more if you have another way of pumping up or adding dice into there. And And what's really cool here is because both of these are after the attack is resolved, you can trigger them in whichever way you want. So you can basically advance medium towards a piece of terrain.
Oh, yes.
And then it doesn't matter if it's sort of out of line of sight or whatever range, if it's no longer within size or range 2, it doesn't matter. You just throw it at them. So this is wicked. That is a cool attack. And I think both of these attacks, considering, the first one is free, yes, this one's a bit spendy, they're both super cinematic. And like you say, just like you're watching the cartoon or a film or playing the video game. Very, very cool. If you don't mind, I'm going to skip his leadership ability.
Well, I believe you didn't read it until today.
It was genuinely, with all the excitement, at like 4 o'clock, I messaged our group chat just being like, guys, I've just read his leadership ability for the first time.
2 days after everyone else, it's fine.
Yeah, basically. But I'll talk about his superpowers first of all. So the first one is Web Swing. It has a cost of 2, and you place this character within 3 of its current position. The next time it makes a Spider Strike attack this turn, add 2 dice to the attack roll. This superpower can be used only once per turn. So that reminds me a lot of the Miles Morales Web Swing. In fact, I think it is basically exactly the same, which is cool. And, that gives you, a slightly bigger chance of getting that trigger off, with 7 dice builder.
Yeah.
I think it's more likely to go off, and it's just always useful. It's a superpower that adds maneuverability and adds dice. What more do you want?
Yeah, and it's 2 power for 2 dice as well.
It's 2 power, exactly.
It's 2 power for 2 dice and a move.
Yeah. And 3 is long. Everyone, you got to remember, 3 is a long distance.
Especially with a bigger base.
Exactly. So that's very cool. His second superpower is a reactive superpower. This one is called Witty Banter at the cost of just 1 power. Because basically, Spider-Man's constantly throwing those one-liners at you as you're being beaten up by him. When an enemy character within 3 of this character is attacking an allied character, this character may use this superpower during the modify opponent's dice step of the attack. You may reroll 1 die in the attack roll. That is a really cool inverse of the Spider Foe's leadership ability, right?
It is indeed. And
I think that's a really cool sort of showing the 2 sides of the same coin. Like, they do similar things, but one is much nicer about it and one's a little bit meaner about it. And I think that it's really cool that the AMG and the games designers in general have managed to sort of show this across this fighter and obviously Green Goblin's leadership ability.
Oh, yes.
The next 2 superpowers are, always on, and holy moly.
Oh, yeah.
Mastered Spider Sense. So, those 4/4/3 defenses that we were saying, what? These are okay.
Bad.
These aren't bad. I think they're a little bit better when you can reroll any number of defense or dodge dice.
Suddenly that does look better.
So it's not up to 2, and it's not ignoring Mystic. You just always get to reroll any number.
That is some Spider Sense.
Obviously, you can't reroll the skulls unless you're using Miles Morales' leadership while you have the ability to do so.
Which isn't a bad option.
But it's not a bad option, I agree. But yeah, this is mad. Like, I can just see Amazing Spider-Man just be able to take a flank and hold it by himself because he is tanky. He is so tanky.
He can beat people down as well. It's not like he's just gonna. It's not like he's gonna sit there and survive.
Like, he's
he
a
can
control
beat people
piece.
down.
Like, he's a control piece through his attacks, which is cool. It isn't like superpowers where they're just constantly going off. You have to roll for them, which obviously makes it slightly less reliable. But I don't care, because he will beat you down. He will throw you off points. He'll throw terrain at you. He's not going to take any damage. And if he does, like we say, 12 isn't the most, but it's evenly split, 6 and 6. Yeah, I think this is great. Really, really cool. And the final ability is Wall Crawler. So we've seen this on all the spider dudes, and dudette. Yeah, it's useful. It means that you can basically ignore terrain, which is always fun.
Yeah.
And
that long move and medium base.
Oh yeah, so good, so good. But we should probably move on to Friendly Neighborhood Spider Team. So this is affiliation for the Web Warriors. We have our second Web Warrior leader. Once per turn during an allied character's activation, it may pay 1 power and choose an enemy within 2. The chosen character gains the slow special condition.
Very nice.
If the chosen character already had the slow special condition, place it within 1 of its current position and remove the slow special condition. Oh, that is that's a block.
It is a block.
It's a block of text. And I think we had a pretty interesting conversation this afternoon when I discovered he had a leadership ability. I obviously knew he did. I just paid no attention to it because I was so excited by everything else. But you know, we've now got 2 leaders for Web Warriors. Web Warriors was already a sort of defensive, can win games without rolling dice, you know, all to do with maneuverability, all to do with placement, all to do with just getting the most out of your placement and your placement within the game. I think being able to take someone off a point is obviously very useful if they already have the slow special condition. And I just think being able to give them the slow special condition is pretty useful. You're so fast that if you're just gumming your opponent's board up with slow and you're whipping all over the board and you're knocking them off points, maybe getting them out of a range to attack you back, I just think there's a lot of control you're having here. The one point I was slightly worried about. Now, I can't profess to being a master Web Warrior player. In fact, I think I've only played them 2 or 3 times. They're definitely a affiliation I want to play more, and I especially do now. But they were always super power hungry. You hear about it all the time in the podcasts. You hear about it all the time in the battle reports that you see them. They're super power hungry, especially in the first couple of rounds. You know, sometimes half of the game, they're really struggling with power because their builders aren't great, or that's not what you want them to be doing. Basically, you want them to be using their power on their superpowers. But I think pumping out slow everywhere is obviously super useful when you've got the card all webbed up, which is already a Web Warriors card that basically, if you're attacking someone who is slowed, you add 2 dice to the attack rolls. So yeah, I mean, obviously it pumps out slow, but itself, which is the second part of the condition, if you want. So, you know, I think there's a lot going on here.
There is.
I don't know if it's better than being able to reroll skulls on your defenses, though. That's the only thing I would say.
I mean, I think like we were discussing earlier, it's situational. Sometimes you're going to want those rerolls, and sometimes you're just going to want to make the opponent's team not be able to walk anywhere.
Yeah, I think also Wargaming Dad came up with a really good point that Amazing Spider-Man's ability to pump out slow is basically useless against Asgard. So that's already probably one matchup where you're thinking,
I would rather reroll those defenses.
I'd rather reroll defenses here.
Yeah, I mean, the other side is you are making them spend a power to do so.
True.
So, but it's costing you a power. So, I mean,
costing you.
You know, there might be those times when the opponent goes, you know what, I really want that 1 power. Not gonna de-slow myself, but. But you know, I think you're probably right. It's basically they're counteracting each other there.
I think we're going to see a new sort of core of most Web Warrior teams, which, because I think playing Miles and the Amazing Spider-Man together is pretty great. You know, that is 8 power, but I think we might see like an 11 power core where sometimes you'll basically fill in what else you need. So you've got sort of Gwen, Gwen, Amazing Spider-Man, and Miles, and then you can basically play whatever else you want. You can maybe bump that up to 12 if you wanted to play with Venom. Obviously, you can't play Spider-Man and Amazing Spider-Man together. You can't even have them in the same roster. So, yeah, it's a really cool ability, a really cool character, sorry, with some really amazingly cinematic abilities. And but I think you have some villains you'd like to talk about.
Do you know what?
Oh, sorry, I just want to pump in one more thing. Do we think the Amazing Spider-Man is going to be an Avenger?
I would assume so.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. And if he is, I think being able to web swing for one on the first turn is super cool, especially when you're a long mover on that medium-sized base.
Which may mean they decide not to put him in Avengers.
Yeah, but I can see it, and I would definitely like to try it out.
Yeah, I would very much assume he is. Otherwise, I feel like they're missing a big part of the comics there.
Agreed. Cool.
And that would make sense.
Anywhere else you think he comes in? At 5, I think we're struggling basically.
Do you know what? Just maybe not the best place, but I can see him in Brotherhood with the destroying terrain.
Ooh. Okay, yeah. And that helps you out with your power problem there.
Yeah.
I guess the problem there is that you're 5 threat.
That's 11.
You have 6
That's
threat.
11 Magneto right there.
Yeah.
So it would be a higher points cost games, but I can see him getting in there. And you know what? You can create such a fast Brotherhood list if you had like Mystique, Sabretooth, Spider-Man, and Kingpin. Not Kingpin, Magneto.
Max,
I was thinking Criminal Syndicate there. I mean that is 18 threat right there.
But it sounds fun.
And then Toad for 20, done.
Yeah, sorted. And there are 2 20s now, so
we have 2 20s, and Terrigen Mist. It's like an interesting one to play.
And so. I think Spider-Man's pretty good on Terrigen Mist. I think Bees are pretty good for him, where he can basically hold a flank by himself. Yeah, Poison's going to suck, but
yeah, there is that.
So maybe you just don't hold it. Maybe this is sort of one where you hold the other side of it, and Amazing Spider-Man just stops your opponent.
Stops the opponent taking the other
getting the other one by himself. And he can do that. He can do that. He can just say no.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just going to hold this side by myself. Cool. I think that works. We'll go with some villains.
Who would Spider-Man be without his rogues gallery?
I mean, I think they're the best rogues gallery. Controversial. It's close. It's Batman or Spider-Man, but I think Spider-Man has more.
It's so close. Like I think Spider-Man has more well-known ones.
Yeah, and not only that, I think it resonates more with me because of the animated TV show.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I very much like the Batman animated show.
Yeah, absolutely agree.
And the Riddler is one of my favorite bad guys of all time. But Spider-Man does have some of the very best, in my opinion.
And who are we seeing first?
We've got 4 out there.
Yeah.
It's never really been a playable faction because of the lack of
I mean, there have been playable.
It's playable. It's
rosters.
playable. It's just
you can't do your classic sort of Spidey villains.
No. But we can now start to add to this with the reveal of 4 new characters. I'm just going to bring up a very blurry photo first because this is a screenshot from the video.
Yeah.
But AMG have revealed 4 new Spider-Man characters, and oh my god, that's so exciting. So we already knew Carnage and Mysterio were coming.
We did.
We didn't know about Kraven and the Lizard.
Oh.
And that lizard sculpt popping out of the sewer on like a plume of water, ready to pounce. Oh my god, it's perfect.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible. All three of these, I think in our group chat, we just said Spider-Foes are the best looking faction now. Like they have the best models.
Yeah.
It's
the only one, and I like the model myself, but the only one that's a bit boring is Doc Ock, who's a bit static.
Yeah.
But I like that, but I do feel we are going to get like a superior Doc Ock at some point.
I think it'll be Superior Spider-Man though.
I don't think it will be. I think it's more likely to be like I'm trying to think, but
yeah, I don't.
More like video game Doc Ock, I think, but
yeah, maybe.
But not actually video game Doc Ock, but more like that. But maybe not. Anyway, we're going to take. They did also reveal 2 of the cards, and it is the 2 that we were expecting. It's Mysterio. It's Carnage. I'm going to look at my personal favorite first, and then we're going to go to Pat's.
Guessing it's Mysterio.
Boom.
Love it.
Oh my god. So, okay. 3 threat character. Lovely. Love a 3 threat character.
Incredible.
Height 2. Okay, that's boring and standard. Only a small move.
So he's Crossbones, guys.
He is new Crossbones. With some significant advantages. He has 6 health on his healthy side. He goes down to 5 health on his injured side. I believe that's the only difference.
Right. That is the
just difference. Quickly scanning. His defense is
11 for 3.
11 for 3. I'm okay with that.
Bear in mind, we just saw Spider-Man 12
for 5.
5. So yeah, I'm happy with that too.
That's fine.
11 for 3 is fine.
Yeah, 11's fine.
Oh god.
His defenses look a bit odd. He has 1 physical defense, 1 energy defense.
God, please be 1. Please be 1.
5 mental defense. Okay. Whew. Okay, we're pulling.
So he's more squishy than Rocket, is what we're saying in a physical fight.
He's about as physically tough as a man with a dome on his head should be.
Yep.
And I think that's the thing, is that Mysterio is just a guy.
Yeah.
Like, he isn't superpowered himself. Like, and anyone that's familiar with the comics, with the cartoon, will know he is just a guy. Yeah. However, he is a guy with some tricks.
He's got a few tricks up his sleeve.
So, your thoughts on that top line, Pat?
I really, really hope there's something else coming up further down the card. Try not to bury the lead, but I'm worried about the slow move. I genuinely am.
Yes.
That's always a problem when you have a small base and a small move.
Yeah. Agreed.
Especially when you then look at his attacks, which aren't like 5 or 4. They're smaller than that.
Yeah.
I'm already thinking we're gonna need some good stuff on the rest of the card. Otherwise, we're in for a bit of trouble here.
Yeah. So
the first attack doesn't wow me.
No. So he has 2 attacks. They are both mystic, mental, whatever you want to call it. We can end up being mental all the time.
I think they both are allowed.
I think that's fine. His first one it's okay. It's not okay. It's not. It's hypnosis gas. It's got a range of 3, which is okay. It's got 4 dice, no power. Unfortunately, I thought this was going to be a gain of power, like no matter what. Unfortunately, it's gain damage equal to damage dealt. Yeah. However, if this attack does deal any damage, you may then advance the target character small. That's okay. Bit of control. You do have to sneak a damage through, which is definitely possible on a 4 dice attack. But you're gonna, and it's against one of the weaker defenses in the game.
That is true.
Choose your targets wisely, and you're gonna get at least that 1 damage through.
I just want to say at this point, we should probably. I mean, we don't have to go over it in any great detail, but Green Goblin's leadership ability here allows you to spend a power to make your opponent re-roll a defense dice, because all you need is 1 damage to go through. Like, you only need that 1 damage to go through to get the it's a push away. Or it might be a push into Carnage's path, which will be fun. But
and actually, to be fair, it's in advance, so it's not even a push, so I can choose where they're going.
You can choose the direction. True. Yeah, I like it. But it's not always gonna come off, so don't bank on it.
I'll give it a few games in. I'm gonna be raging that Mysterio sucks. But at the moment, I still love him, and I love the rest of this card.
Yeah.
His second attack, Curtain Call, harking back to his special effect days.
Oh yeah.
Obviously, everything he does is real. It's not special effects. Don't worry about it. It's only range 2. It's 6 dice for 4. Oof.
Yep.
It doesn't. Okay, the attacks don't wow me. But if this attack deals damage, if the target character is size 2 or less, after this attack is resolved, you throw it small. Okay, it's good. Built-in throw with some damage. Again, got to get that 1 damage through. But on a wild though, causes stagger.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is great.
Yeah, stagger is one of the better conditions to be able to pump out. Yeah. And on 6 dice, while it isn't guaranteed, it's
Yeah, it's fairly high chance.
It's fairly high chance. And like you say, Mystic is a weaker defense for most. It's 4 power. And
I feel like it's costed 1 too many.
Yeah, but I could see. I think at 3 it would be very good.
Yes.
The problem is, I just think the attack, both of his attacks aren't great. But
I agree.
I will preface. I will continue to say, you're not taking Mysterio for the attacks.
I don't think so.
Okay. Tell me about some superpowers, Matt.
Okay, he's got 5. Well, sort of. One of them is reactive, and it's tricks and traps, which is, I think we've seen some Rocket before. Or something very similar.
A much weaker version of this.
Yes, true, it is a weaker version. When an enemy character ends its movement within range 3 of this character may use this superpower. It's 3 power, by the way. Yeah. Roll 4 dice. Enemy suffers 1 damage for every crit and wild rolled. Okay. That's fine. We've seen that.
Up to this point, that is exactly Rocket Raccoon's ability, which is also 3 power.
Yeah. But continuing with the theme of the card, if this superpower deals 1 damage, at least 1 damage, this character may then advance small.
Yeah.
Short. I keep calling it small. I know it's short, but okay, gives him that little bit more maneuverability. It's not a guarantee. It's 3 power, but it also damages an opponent. So I'm gonna be okay with that.
I like, and I wonder if it works like this. I need to know about timings. Does this work if your opponent charges you? Can you react?
It ends a movement, so I would say yes, because a charge is a move and then an attack.
Yeah, it's just bumped into 1 sort of power, right?
Yeah, because I think charge is actually worded. This character makes a movement and then makes an attack.
It says this character immediately makes a move followed by a strike attack action.
Okay.
So I would like to know, if anyone knows, can this help? But if you are trying to charge Mysterio, I hope you can, roll those 4 dice, deal a damage, and get out of dodge and make them waste the attack. Unless their attack is a really long range, but I don't think they are. I think Thor's, for example, is like range 2.
I think Zemo could potentially use his range 3 attack.
Let me have a look. Fill the gap, do a dance. Just get Zemo's card. Yes, because it is followed. Zemo's is worded. You make a move action followed by an attack action, but you might not have the 2 power to use Steel Rush though.
Exactly. I feel like you can, but
that would be flavorful because the trap side of things we've seen before, but this is a trick side of it.
Oh yeah, he's just not there with charging fake Mysterio, who was never there.
It was an illusion.
Speaking of which, his next power, which is always on, is Master of Illusions.
Love it.
Whenever this character rolls dice, after the effect is resolved, it gains 1 power if it rolled at least 1 blank. Cool. Additionally, this character uses Mystic defenses when making a dodge roll.
All right, that single line there saves this character. Saves this character.
Yeah, yes, it does.
If this wasn't on there, this Mysterio would be unplayable.
I agree.
Because you just couldn't dodge buildings. Once you've gone through brace for impact, you just couldn't dodge anything.
You can dodge a building, you can dodge a ball.
But Matt, yeah, you're rolling 5 dice. Like you are now the best at dodging buildings.
I think you're right. You're better than Spider-Man. You're arguably better than Spider-Man at dodging buildings. He gets 4 dice with rerolls, but you know.
Yeah. This is great. It helps with the power generation because you're always going to
building an illusion.
You're always going to want to have Mysterio sitting on 3 power, I think.
I would agree.
Yeah. So we have now seen 2 really cool defensive abilities. Matt, are there any more?
Yes, there are.
Cool.
I'm gonna jump to the bottom one and say his next one is flight. So he does fly.
That's not very defensive.
No, I know.
Did I also help you a little bit with the short movement?
It does help with the short move. I actually think flight and a short move is kind of pointless because obviously a short move doesn't. When you're climbing over things, normally it reduces your move to a small.
Yeah.
So actually, I feel like flight and a short move doesn't actually have that much impact, but it means you can fly over things. You know, characters. Yeah. You know, some of them. I don't know. It's fine. Like it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
But yes, he is slightly more defensive. He has stealth.
Wicked.
I'm saving the possibly the best one till last.
Yeah.
Characters must be within range 3 to target this character with attacks. Oh, what happens when they get within range 3, Pat?
Well, I'm just going to run away. I was never here. Tricks and traps.
Boom! And gone.
Yeah. Yeah, you literally go.
Yeah, I love the fact that he has stealth, and obviously stealth and tricks and traps works perfectly together.
Yep.
It's like they thought about this.
Almost.
His final ability, possibly maybe not his great. Well,
yeah. No, I think tricks and traps is great, but
I also think Master of Illusions is great, but I think the whole card is great apart from the attacks that are a bit underwhelming. But smoke and mirrors, because once again, this guy, Master of Illusions. His smoke and mirrors, though, is when an enemy character targets this character with an attack, this character may use its mystic defense, regardless of that attack's type. Unless the attacking character pays 2 power. We right now have a mini enchantress on the table.
We do, and this is interesting. I mean, this is always good if you're going to buddy up with like an Okoye or a bodyguard or, you know, Spider-Gwen. I know she'll be on the wrong side, but you basically make your opponent pay the 2 if they're going to do it, and then you can choose to bodyguard or zoink them away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is pretty. It's obviously great. All right, it's obviously great. It means for the first couple of rounds, while you know your opponents are trying to gain some power, they really have to think about whether or not it's worth them paying the 2. Because I feel like if you're not paying the 2, it's very difficult to make the attack worth it in your head. Because going against 5 defense, like it's like hitting a brick wall.
And he's got, you know, like we said, he's got good health for a 3-player character.
He does. What this guy screams out to me is either as a sort of back point objective holder.
Absolutely.
Or sort of one of the back flank objective holders, and maybe even a flank objective holder if you can get him up there.
I think my thought initially was he wants to be grabbing a senator and running away with him.
Because he's not losing the speed then, is he? His
speed's not being reduced. It's hard to target him. If you do target him, it's hard to kill him. Or at least it's costing you to kill him. I think he's a really solid objective holder. Yes, I'm probably going to be wanting to take cards like Climbing Gear or Extreme Conditioning just to be getting him around a bit more.
Keep talking. Is he actually Criminal Syndicate as well?
I believe he is, yeah.
Just checking this out now.
I think so. I'm pretty sure he is on that Criminal Syndicate list. Which is why I was looking forward to Mysterio the most, because he's obviously in my current favourite faction and he's in my hopefully new favourite faction.
Yeah, I mean I think he's really good at Criminal Syndicate as well.
I think he's very solid in Criminal Syndicate. He's survivable.
Yeah.
He's going to enjoy those objectives. Do you know what I thought about the other Spider-Man? Sorry, just jumping back, because I just remembered the point I had in my head, and then you asked me a question and I forgot it. Amazing Spider-Man is almost the counter to Hired Muscle.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
He can if someone plays Hired Muscle, normally that means they're going to grab and run. He can jump in, slow them.
Yeah.
Possibly even take some of those people off them. So it just popped back into my head, and I thought I should mention it again.
I like it.
Just talking about objectives.
And in that time, I have confirmed he is Criminal Syndicate as well.
Awesome. So Mysterio's, I'm going to be playing him a lot. I
think Spider-Foe's Criminal Syndicate is sounding good.
Yeah, I mean that was what I started in the league with, and now I can do it a bit better, I think.
Yeah, there's going to be crossover with.
I mean, you've got Kingpin, right? You've
Green got Goblin, Kingpin, Mysterio.
Yeah, both leaders are in both factions, right?
Yeah. Cool, wicked. So all in all, 3-threat character is going to be very good sitting on objective. You're probably never going to want to be throwing dice with this guy as this is what I'm aiming to do. But if you do, you're probably going to gain some power thanks to Master of Illusions. And like you say, he's probably going to stick around for a fair long while.
It's probably better. You're probably going to gain more power from Master of Illusions than actually hitting people with that hypnosis gas.
Yeah. And if you hit them once, they move away. And if you roll 2 blanks, you gain a power. So, yeah. Wicked. Right. I like it.
So,
who have we got now, though, Matt?
I mean, this excites me as well. Mysterio got me more excited, but oh my god, oh my god. I'm pretty sure that's a medium base, right? It's one of the medium bases.
Yes, this is a medium base. But what
a stunning model.
Yeah, incredible.
I'm just going to talk about that first.
And confirmed to have axe arm.
Oh my god, yeah! We've seen a shot of the sprue as well.
We've seen a shot of the sprue. I haven't
brought it up, but
no,
he does have like an axe. It basically, if you look on the card art on his injured side, there he's got the like axe on the side of his arm, and that is basically an option for this model.
Incredible. So this is Carnage, aka Cletus Cassidy, and nice Carnage is incredible. All right, I don't need to tell you anything about this card. In fact, Matt, we can skip to the next point. All we need to know is Carnage is incredible. I'm going to play him. I'm going to force him into every faction I play.
I'm going to play him just because he's in my faction. Not because of that, because he's freaking awesome. But
he's amazing. That model is sick, and yeah, I can't wait to get my hands on Carnage.
He's a tasty 4-threat character.
I'm going to hurt my hands so much for this because it looks so spiky.
Oh my god, yeah, you're going to go pick him up and he's going to stab. This is the best thing about the model, that he's actually going to draw blood every game he plays.
Oh yeah, and we're going to paint the town red. I'm going to bury the lead, but that's a
god, you've ruined it.
But we have Carnage. He is 4-threat. He is size 2. He's a medium mover. Okay. He has 7. Read that, 7 stamina.
Disgusting.
Nothing changes on his injured side, I should say. So very easy. So this guy's a 14 stamina character for 4-threat. Incredible.
Great.
Incredible.
I don't know if we've seen that before.
No. And you know what we haven't seen? A 14-threat character. A 14 stamina 4-threat character with 5 physical defense.
Oh my god! I assume this just gets better.
Yeah. I mean, 1 everything else. Yeah.
What? I missed that. Sorry. What?
1 energy defense and 1 mystic defense. Okay.
Oh, but he's got ways around that, right? He's got to be like Mysterio, where he just ignores it, and everything's physical, right?
His first attack. Symbiote Tendrils. This is a range 3, 5 dice, 0 cost builder, so he gains power equal to the damage dealt. We have obviously seen this before. After the attack is resolved, the target character gains bleed. I believe this is exactly the same attack as Venom.
I believe you're correct.
which is very cool. It's a pretty solid builder. Bleed is a pretty nice condition to be handing out, especially as you don't need to have dealt damage. You don't need to have rolled a wild. It just, after the attack is resolved.
Oh, and any condition which is free is good.
I mean, this isn't the best condition, but it's free, so you'll take it. We then go on to Maximum Carnage.
You know this is going to be good.
What a comic run as well. Like, I mean...
Yeah, that is good. That is a great comic run.
This is an Area 2, 7 dice, 5 cost attack. Okay, so it's not cheap, but it's good. After each attack is resolved, the target character gains the bleed special condition. So we've seen a second bleed, well actually third, because my hands are going to be bleeding every time I pick this model up.
Oh yeah.
But he has a trigger, and it's a wild and a hit, I believe.
Not bad on 7 dice.
Not bad on 7 dice. Probably going to happen, especially as we move on to the card later on. But yeah, with a wild and a hit, you get Rampage. So after each attack is resolved, because this is an Area 2, you deal 1 to each other enemy within 2 of this character. So basically, not only are you then hitting all those characters with Maximum Carnage, every other person, so if there's 3 people, each time you hit one, as long as you're not killing them before you get to attack them, you're then dealing 1 damage to each of the other guys who are nearby.
Insane. It's just insane. You've got basically, like you said, if it's 3 characters, that's 3 chances to do 3 damage. Well, yeah. 1 damage, but
1 damage. Yeah, 1 damage twice at least. So, yeah, this is a really cool attack here. I think this attack is so cool. It's. I genuinely think on like an EMAP or something like that, or something where you're splitting the board up in half, and there's a decent amount of characters on either side. Oh my lord! Like there's just no downside to this. You're just going to be murdering 3 people.
I can see it, and it's not like he's got any ways to add dice to his abilities, right?
Absolutely not. I mean. I'll go on to that now. Sadistic Lee, cost 2. During the next attack action made by this character this turn, add 2 dice to its attack rolls. After each attack is resolved, if the attack rolled any skulls results, this character suffers 1 damage. Okay, so for 7 power, you can add 2 dice, so they all become 9 dice Maximum Carnages. At the cost of every time you roll a skull, you take damage. And with those defenses, you're probably going to be, taking a bit of a hit. But you've got 7 stamina. And there's no way on this card that...
that would be an issue.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no way on this card that there's anywhere that you can sort of heal up all your damage or anything.
That would be insane. That would just... You can't do that on this card.
I think it would be a little bit good, right?
Why would that's just not, it wouldn't be okay. It would be broken.
But you know what, I'm going to paint the town red anyway for the cost of 3 power. This is a reactive superpower. If this character dazes or KOs an enemy with an attack during its activation, this character may use this superpower. After the attack is resolved, this character advances short, removes all damage from itself, and then makes a symbiote tendrils attack. This superpower can only be used once per turn.
Oh my god!
I mean, you're gonna have 3 power because I don't think Carnage is gonna have a problem.
Oh my god!
We've never seen this before. Like just
it's
a character, just a character that could be like, "Nah, I'm fully healed now. Sorry."
So it's like Angela's angelic assassin on steroids.
On steroids, yeah, absolutely.
It's like, okay, yeah, it's got the move, same as Angela. Yeah, it's got the attack.
Same as Angela.
It heals fully.
Fully heals. And he's got 7 stamina, so he could be sitting on 6 damage and then just be like,
I'm fine.
Shame I killed the guy because now I'm fine again.
I ate his head.
Yeah, I basically ate him and absorbed his life force. this character just gets better and better. As you read further down the card, you just think it can't get any better. We come to a slight downside. This this passive is sort of arch nemesis Eddie Brock. So this is our second arch nemesis. When attacking Eddie Brock, this character may modify or re-roll skull results and may re-roll any number of attack dice. At the start of this character's activation, if there is a non-dazed enemy Eddie Brock within 3 of this character, this character's first action must be an attack action targeting Eddie Brock, which, if possible. So we get an upside where we really want to kill Eddie Brock, but the downside is we might not want to kill Eddie Brock. Like, we may quite like, or we may need to double move, or we may need to attack someone else and move, or move to attack someone else. Eddie doesn't get seen that much. Will we be seeing him more? Probably.
I think so.
Are we going to be seeing him so much that this is only going to be a massive downside and make you never want to take Carnage?
No,
absolutely not. Thank you. Yeah, it's cool. It's flavorful. So not only is this character card incredible, it's also managed to get so much of the comic book stuff in there with Carnage. It's super flavorful. AMG, home run. Yeah, you've knocked this one out the park. It's brilliant. I haven't even finished. There is more. He has another passive. This one is called Symbiotic Serial Killer. When this character is attacking, the defending character does not add dice to its defense rolls for crit results. Nice. So, when you're rolling all those dice, you want to add 2 dice to your symbiotic tendrils, you're rolling 7 dice. Your opponent's thinking, sweet, I rolled a couple of crits in there. This will help me live.
No, I didn't.
No, I didn't. And remember, you are in Spider Foes. So if you have an extra power lying around, just going to make your opponent reroll that defense dice. So you kill them. So you then spend 3 power, heal up all your damage, and make another symbiotic tendrils attack. Yeah. Is Carnage doing anything? Okay, he's a wall crawler as well. Before I move on, is he doing anything super fancy? I think he is, but he's doing one thing.
He's doing one thing. He's a glass cannon.
He is a super glass cannon. Man, we cannot forget those 1 energy defenses and 1 mystic defenses. Yeah. MODOK will eat Carnage. Do not play Carnage if your opponent is playing MODOK. If your opponent's playing Captain Marvel, probably don't play Carnage.
Rocket. Hawkeye.
They're both 5 dice, isn't? In fact, I think Rockets is only 4 dice, isn't it? So
good question.
I can have a look. Phil, do a dance. It's 5 dice. Sorry, it is 5 dice. And then his super is 7 dice. So yeah, maybe not into Rocket, but
I mean, maybe, I say that though, but there's ways to avoid him.
Yeah.
Right. Just hide behind some terrain and then pop out and munch his face. I say that it's a downside, but it's not. It's just you've just got to be a bit more, careful with how you play him.
Yeah, just try not to get one-shotted, basically.
And
with that 1 energy defense, just better luck. Hope you're better luck.
7 health. It's still 7 health. It's hard to do 7 damage in one go. It's not.
It is hard. It is hard, especially when, the ones where you see an opponent just roll the dice and murder someone. They're all physical attacks. They're all those massive physical beaters. Maybe MODOK. Okay, I think
MODOK is still physical. His big attack is still physical.
His physical, his big attack's still physical. I just mean, you sometimes just see an opponent click and delete.
Yeah.
That is usually with a physical. It's usually with a physical.
I agree. I think it usually is.
And as long as it stays that way, Carnage is fine. Maybe one character I just had a thought, Ghost Rider. Maybe you don't play him into Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
Because Ghost Rider is super maneuverable and then just has energy and mystic attacks.
That's true.
So will ruin your day. So maybe that's my one, where you say, actually, let's not play Carnage into it. But we did see two tactics cards. They don't have names. We don't know what they are. I can't even really make out what they are, but
I'm going to call them We've Got You and
I wanted to call this one Maximum Carnage, the one on the right, but
no, because that's
it
his
can't
attack.
be because that's his attack.
The one on the right seems to be called Something Rules.
Something rules. Yeah, I agree. Whatever. AOE root, big area, do loads of rooting. For the one on the left, you may spend any number of power to play this card. Choose one enemy within 3 of Carnage for each energy spent. The chosen character gains the root special condition. So I'm going to put you on the spot here, Matt. Do you know what the root special condition does?
No, we had this discussion the other day, and I still can't remember what it does.
Okay. The character
is it make superpowers cost more? Is that it?
Yes. You basically have to spend a power before using an active or reactive superpower on top of all the other costs. I don't really get it. Like, I don't know how. I guess you're just going to be so tangled up that you're like, Christ, I can't even use my superpowers here.
It sounds more like a movement thing, right?
Yeah, it does. It seems like you shouldn't be able to move root, but I don't mind. Okay, it's another root. You know, beforehand it was only Groot that had this.
This is what I've never seen.
I don't know if we'll see this.
I maybe play around with it, but
yeah, I think obviously we're going to play with it. Obviously going to play with it. But yeah,
competitively, probably not.
Yeah, especially because I think the other one is just better, and very, very rarely do you see 2 tactics cards played for one specific character.
Yeah,
so whatever X rules, Madness rules or something like that, maybe. We have a Carnage may spend 4 during his activation to play this card. Choose an enemy character within 4, so this is huge, within 4 of Carnage. Advance the chosen character short towards Carnage, and after the advance, Carnage makes a symbiote tendrils attack targeting the chosen character. So you can basically get 3 attacks off with Carnage. If all you wanted to do was symbiote tendrils off, like people off the board, you can do that with this.
Yeah, I like this. It's 4 power, which is expensive, but it's deception with an attack of it.
Yeah. I'm not sure, and this is purely just off my gut instinct for hoping, basically, that Carnage won't have too many power problems, because I think you're going to be rolling attacks quite a lot, and you're probably going to be taking a fair amount of damage, unless obviously you're just getting beaten up by physical attackers, in which case maybe you get 1 or 2 damage on a big attack, and that gets you a couple of power. But I think because of those defenses, and because he is so attack oriented, and really, Paint the Town red might happen. It can only happen once per turn, and statistically, it can only happen once per turn. So, yeah, I hope he's not going to be too power hungry. But if he is, then this card probably won't see play.
No, but I guess. Yeah, no, I don't. I can see it being used. I think you're right. I think your initial thought there, he's going to be generating quite a bit of power. I think.
Yeah.
I hope so anyway, because he definitely needs it. So he doesn't need it, but it's definitely going to benefit him.
It's going to help him a lot.
So yeah, we shall see.
I think you're going to hope for some more cards like climbing gear and out of action moves, so you can move Carnage, so you can spend all your attack action or all your actions attack. I think that's basically what you want to be doing.
Can you imagine drop off with Carnage?
Yeah, that seems filthy. That seems
like filthy. You've clustered your guys there. Carnage.
Goblin's just going to drop someone off. I mean, we talked about this in our chat, and this is going a bit off piece, but I think we both agree. In fact, I think all four of us in the chat have a similar hope that Green Goblin's going to have a sort of drop-off card as well, where he has to, do the drop-off. He doesn't get the attack, but he can drop someone else off to get the attack.
Yeah,
so
pick another spider foe.
Yeah, basically pick another spider foe. And
make it very, very specific, another spider foe. Yeah. But then with Carnage, I don't know if that would be having now seen Carnage.
Yeah, especially now seeing his card. Yeah.
Might be too much. So I mean, who knows? So that is, from the stream perspective, that is the character reveals that we've seen. We've seen the model for Lizard. We've seen the model for
Craven.
Craven, which is beautiful as well. Both models stunning. On the building stream that they also had another couple of teases, which we're not going to talk about too much, but very quickly just show up on screen there. We had this little sneak peek of a character I didn't think we'd be seeing anytime soon, but brilliant. Omega Red.
Love it.
A cool Wolverine bad guy.
Yeah.
Like the Russian Weapon X. With his carbonite.
Yeah,
tendrils.
It's mad. This guy is
carbonium. I can't remember what they call it.
Nuts. Where, I think if we've got one question for Omega Red, other than who is Omega Red, we'll come on to that some later episode. Where do we think Omega Red's going to be?
I don't know.
No, neither do I.
I'm thinking Rogue Agent.
I'm thinking Rogue Agent as well, but cannot be on a team with Wolverine. That would
be amazing. Actually, that'd be really good.
That would be quite a cool restriction.
Yeah. He does not like Wolverine.
Yeah. I think that would be cool. This model looks so dynamic though. Those whips.
Those tendrils are looking great.
They look a little bit sturdier than Daredevil's.
They do actually. They do. They are definitely a bit more solid. And then Ghost Rider's chain as well.
Yeah, true that.
And the next one we got.
I didn't realise, and I must apologise to everyone, but this is a direct 3D render. So basically, they saw a comic book cover of Blade doing this exact thing, and the sculptor was just like, nah, that's perfect. I don't need to come up with anything else. This is just what I'm going to do. And it looks exactly the same as this comic book. I think it's an old Marvel Knights comic, and it's basically Blade, and these hands are all sort of like undead spirits grasping out through whatever green death mist there is. But it's so dynamic. Is that just the only picture we've got?
Unfortunately, that's the only one I've got of that. I know there was a few.
There was a few angles. There was a few angles.
That was the best one. I just thought it's just the best one.
Blade is going to be so good, and Marvel Knights, Midnight Suns. I think.
Did I actually put that photo in here? I'm not sure I did. I didn't, annoyingly. The photo with basically the Marvel Knights. They had Moon Knight, Blade.
It's on the tactics card.
Was it Ghost Rider?
Yeah. That's a really cool piece of art. I think that was revealed a few weeks ago now, wasn't it? But I agree. I think we sort of assume he's going to be a leader of whatever faction it is, whether it's the Midnight Suns, whether it's Marvel Knights. But I can't wait for that. That's going to be great. Moon Knight, Blade, as well. Brother Voodoo, Ghost Rider, probably Punisher, Doctor Strange.
I would assume Punisher's finally going to get home.
Doctor Strange.
Maybe.
Can see it. I can't wait. Give us that faction. But there were some pieces of art revealed as well. So these are all art taken from tactics cards.
My God, that Craven one is so good.
I can't even begin to guess what that Craven one is. But
I'm gonna call it The Last Hunt.
Yeah, I think it will be called The Last Hunt.
Because
I think that's a wicked
that
name.
Is what they've taken it from. That is the comic they've taken.
That's
it
the
from.
comic, yeah.
Craven's Last Hunt. The great.
What is what is that gonna be? Like, can he pretend to be Spider-Man for a turn? I don't know. Like,
then goes home and commits suicide.
Arch nemesis Peter Parker, and then he KOs after that turn. I think that would be a bit dark.
Dark, but on point.
We'll start top left. We've spoken about Craigboard. The top left one there is Pancakes, Aunt May, Spider-Man 2099, Peter Porker, and Peter Parker, we assume.
I assume.
Yeah, I mean, I hope for an Aunt May model. That's all I'm going to say.
I think there's more chance of Peter Porker at this point.
I can believe that.
Yeah. I'm hoping he comes with mallet and anvil options.
I really don't like Peter Porker.
No, it's a bit too off for me. But,
yeah,
it was fun in Spider-Verse.
But, it's the same problem I have with Howard the Duck. Like
100% agree.
Like,
it's just
it's a bit silly, isn't it? That's all I'm gonna say.
I'm actually more okay with Howard the Duck, to be fair, but just not. Yeah. I feel I've got.
Amazing.
Is that Brother Voodoo? Yeah. I was going to say, what do you think this card does?
Heal some spider foes, steal some. They can heal up some damage because they're eating their pancakes.
I actually was thinking maybe a heal.
It introduces a civilian that you've got to protect in Aunt May.
Oh my god! Yeah. Then we would need an Aunt May model, 3D printed to the rescue.
Yeah. I think maybe a heal, some buff for Web Warriors.
Maybe a movement, because they really need that.
Yeah, I don't think it will be that.
They get to gather around Aunt May.
Brother Voodoo. Now.
No idea. Literally, cool piece of art. No idea what that's going to do. Without knowing anything about his card or
Yeah, basically, like he'll be a sort of mystic.
Oh yeah.
Powerhouse, like maybe Powerhouse being a bit strong, but I could see him honestly being a 5-threat character as well. Like this guy means business. In the comics, so
yeah, he's very serious.
Like you could have some teleporting shenanigans as well. Like they could make him powerful. But yeah, I think I agree. I agree with you. Without really knowing what direction the Midnight Suns are going to be, and without knowing what direction they've sort of taken Brother Voodoo, it's very difficult to guess what tactics card could do, because we don't know what superpowers, and a lot of the time the superpowers sort of take the can be interchangeable with some tactics cards, for example.
Absolutely. I mean, the Carnage one is the one we've seen on the rules.
Yeah, that's wicked.
I'm trying to read what he's scratching into the wall, but I can't really make it out.
Some vandalism down Carnage, doing all the vandalism. You can't even scrub that off with, cleaning fluid. He scratched that right in.
Yeah, what a dick.
Mr. Sinister. Now, I've got a sneaky suspicion, if AMG aren't taking a day off because they gave us such a dump on the weekend, we might see the card.
Tomorrow.
Tuesday
is the day of reveals. You're right, they might not give us anything because they've already given us so much, but we would be looking at, we've had Cable, we've had Domino, so it would be Sinister or...
Wanderer Quicksilver.
Well, yeah.
And I think it'll be Mr. Sinister.
I've got a feeling it's more likely to be Quicksilver because we've seen the model already. Like they've had it on the stream, is what I mean. They have the model on the stream.
I think you might be right then.
But I would like it to be Mr. Sinister.
Yep. Agreed. Again, without knowing what the card does,
he's holding some DNA.
Oh yes.
Because you can do that.
He can. That's his thing. That's his thing.
I'm going to assume this is some sort of buff for a mutant character.
Or debuff for a mutant character?
Nah, it's Mr. Sinister. It's going to be something about making someone more powerful, right?
Could be, yeah.
He's looking at it with a smile on his face.
With a smirk, yeah. He's done something good there. You're right.
Yeah. Maybe he's making more mutants. He's cloning someone.
He's cloning someone, indeed. But, oh boy, the colours on this bottom one pop. Wanda Maximoff.
Ugh.
I cannot wait for this model. And
this is an attack card, right?
I think this is an attack card. Like, it's either an attack card or a massive buff. Yeah, exactly. Holy moly! Like, I'm so pumped for this character. The model is incredible. The character is incredible. Obviously, I'm on a Wonder Vision high, so I'm all about Wonder. But for a long time, Wanda's been one of my favorite characters since House of M, since Avengers Disassembled. Been a really big fan of Wanda in pretty much all the comics I've read her in. She's a very interesting character, and she's a very powerful character, obviously. So it's going to be really interesting to see what the game designers do with her, especially when you are arguably one of the most powerful things in the Marvel Universe. How to tone that down for a tabletop game, we'll see.
She'll have to be asleep.
Yeah, she's got some sort of self-imposed maybe limits, or maybe it's early days. You know, they've done an early day Spider-Man. Maybe we'll get an ultimate encounter.
Oh my god!
Superpower Wonder, later on.
Be cool. Would be cool.
That would be cool. There were two more models. I forgot to send pictures, or two more reveals. Jean Grey's character card was revealed, as was not Cassandra Cain, Cassandra Nova. Who you would only have seen if you've read Grant Morrison and Frank Quitely's run. Super evil character. But I loved the... sorry, I don't have a picture for it here. I loved the art on the Jean Grey card. It's really old school, but done in like a really fresh pop. Like, it really did pop. And I hope the model is in a similar vein. It usually is the case that the model resembles the character card. Yeah, there was a bit of hoo-ha, like, oh, why have you packaged a Jean Grey with a nobody? But they know how to sell models.
Did they say that was going to be the case? I missed that bit.
It was revealed that those two would be coming in a pack together.
Okay, interesting. Because it's definitely a character that I only know by name.
Yeah, I mean, Cassandra Nova is a weird alien clone of Xavier, who Xavier tried to get rid of in the womb, and Cassandra comes back super powerful and bent on
as you do, if
a severe level of mutant genocide, and she does do that.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting. It'll be an interesting character. It's cool because it'll be a mystic pack. Basically, we'll have a.
Yeah, I mean, they could go energy with Jean, I suppose.
You are right. Maybe she'll have an energy builder and a mystic finisher.
Fair.
Yeah.
Cool.
But
I mean, that's it for the reveals. The other thing they have done, and we're just going to touch on it briefly, because hopefully during the week we're going to bring you this live. I'm looking forward to it. Is they have over the weekend they did a which unfortunately sort of sprung it early on the weekend, but we didn't really have time to play the games this weekend. They sprung a Civil War live event over the weekend, which basically was a competition to unlock an alternate piece of art card for later down the line. And it was a Civil War event.
Yeah.
So they released 3 missions. You play through them simultaneously. Not simultaneously. That would be really difficult. The one that's not simultaneous, one after the other. And
I genuinely don't know what that is.
You don't take crisis cards. The missions are set. And otherwise, you take just a normal roster. What me and Pat are going to do during the week is I'm going to play the filthy anti-registration guys led by Captain America. Pat is going to lead the charge.
The pro-registration. And I put, as a little sneak peek, we're not going to tell you rosters that we're taking, but I put a self-imposed rule that I have to put Tony in every single team I take.
Iron Man and Captain is going to be... they're going to be in every game. We'll say that.
Wish me luck, guys. Wish me luck.
We've gone as comic book accurate as we could with the characters available to us.
Yeah, so I think we've done well.
Then yeah, I think we've nailed it with the 20 characters that we've got.
Yeah.
It's not optimal lists. So these games that you are going to see, it's definitely a bunch of characters that I have barely touched. Well, I probably got luckier in the terms that their characters I'm probably a bit more familiar with.
I don't know. I'm basically forcing A-Force in pretty much every game.
That is also true. That is true.
Because, spoilers, She-Hulk was very into the whole registration thing.
Except she wasn't.
Well,
sort of. She was. She. It's weird because She-Hulk was, but as Jennifer Walters as a lawyer, she was like, "I'm fighting the Registration Act," but then actually she was supporting it.
But as She-Hulk, yeah.
But so it's a bit weird. But so we are going to play that over the week. We're going to play all 3 missions. Depending on how long they take, we might get more than one done in a go. If not, we'll do 3 separate streams. They will be live streams on the channel of the 3 episodes as soon as we can.
Yeah, and I think what we'll do is, even if we play 2 games in one sitting, I think we'll stop, have a little break after one game.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
And so it will come up as like 3 uploads, basically.
Absolutely.
So you don't have to sit through like 3 games in a row.
Yeah. I don't think we'll get 3 in a row, but
no.
Unless we did it on Friday.
I think I could squeeze you in.
I mean, Friday is my day off. I don't have anything planned on Friday.
No,
so
neither do I. But
we could do all 3 games on Friday. You
guys will find out if we did.
Or we might just get itchy and play tomorrow night. Who knows?
Who knows?
So keep an eye out.
It's gonna be fun.
Streams.
Yeah.
This video is going to go up in about shortly.
So it's the 22nd of March, guys. For anyone who
this will be up tonight.
It's a nice quick one.
It is a quick one.
Thank you, AMG. I just want to say, obviously, you're not going to hear this, but honestly, this was fun. It was fun to just see, like, oh, cool, what are they coming out with now? Obviously, when that trailer dropped, guys, go watch the trailer. But when that trailer dropped, I was very hyped.
Do you know what? I was a million times more excited when this trailer dropped than when the Deadpool trailer dropped.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna
a million billion times.
I had Cable and Wonder, but
true. There was definitely I missed the Sinister as well, but
no, it doesn't compare to Spider-Man.
No,
it just doesn't compare to Spider-Man and Carnage and Mysterio and Lizard and Craven. Black Cat. We
didn't really mention that. I didn't really bring up a picture because I just it wasn't necessary.
I don't know what I'm going to do with that model because
I'm going to try and do something with it.
Yeah,
it might involve just trying to find a 3D print one that is better.
Sorry, AMG. I mean,
I know what they're trying to do with it.
Yeah, absolutely. They're doing a Matrix style. Whoa.
She's doing a backflip.
Yeah.
And all I want to do is kind of get a Bane model and have him breaking her back over his knee. Wrong universe, but
but we will end it there. So let us know what you guys thought of the reveals. Are you excited for Spider-Man? Are you excited for Carnage? You're obviously not excited for Mysterio. Matt's taken all the excitement in the world.
I do. I've sucked in Mysterio.
But next week it will be back to normal. Matt, I don't think you've quite decided what faction you're going for yet.
I think we're going Criminal Syndicate.
We're going Criminal Syndicate.
Yeah. Because now I can talk about Mysterio again.
We've got a little breakdown of Criminal Syndicate. And obviously we can now talk about Mysterio. So they got a bit of a fuller affiliation. So until next time, thank you, Matt.
And thank you, Pat.
And we'll see you next week.